Hey, what's up, Roxstars? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, ladies? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? We are here today to discuss Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 4, Episode 8. 2 to go, you guys. And this episode felt very dark, very foreboding. Like, can you tell that some bad things are about to happen to some people that we love a lot? I can feel it. Marvin is into this season, you guys. I was hoping it would be next season. It's this season. It's happening. Anyway, you guys, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It was like you could hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Power Book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show opens, we hear Marvin beating the hell out of somebody, and then we finally see that it is Quan. Hit the Quan, y'all. And Quan ain't worried about none of it, even though Marvin done killed all of Quan's crew that's there, okay? Quan's still not worried. Marvin was just like, give me the code to this damn safe or you gonna die. And Quan was just like, okay, I'll give you the code to the safe as long as you let me live. Marvin was like, more like, if you don't give me the code to the safe, you for sure gonna die. Okay, he was gonna die either way it went. I wouldn't have gave him shit, but he gave him the code. Marvin opens up the safe, empties it out, you know, money, jewels, whatever, even though it's not enough to cover what they need. It's still something, you know. But anyway, Marvin, when he went down there, he pulled his cap. Did he pull his ski mask back? Because even though I don't know how Marvin would think somebody wouldn't recognize his voice, but Quan recognizes him, looks at him and says, I know who you are. You're Rock's brother. Marvin turns around and looks at him and says, you know, I'm the one that's going to put you down, you know, and he shoots him. Pow, pow, pow. Okay. Ain't no mistakes with Marvin, though. We going to shoot you a whole bunch of times. Okay. Will seasoned killer. Jumping over to Kanan, we see Kanan talking to Juke. Okay, they can't find OC. Juke was like, have you talked to his mother? And he was just like, no, not yet. And she was like, okay, well, let me go over there and talk to them. He was like, damn, are we really about to do this partner thing? Okay, like we about to be for real, you know? And she was just like, oh, just hold on. She ain't said all of that. Okay, well, Kanan is telling her that he think he knows who hit Fame. And she was just like, okay, who? And he say Rock. And she was just like, no, Kanan. Your mom loved Fame. He was like, she loved D Woods too, and look what happened to D. It's a little different. We didn't know too much about D Woods, granted. You know, he got killed in like the first or second episode or something. But, you know, Fame like has been around. He's felt like a brother to Kane, and I would hope that Rock wouldn't be that callous. Although... So Juke is trying to convince him, no, it's not Rock. He was just like, well, whatever. Snap and Pop, they got some connections with the police. I'm going to see if they can find out, like, you know, if they can get some information on if the police did kill him. The order came from the street somewhere. Okay. So they're trying to figure that out. Kanan was just like, but don't tell me that my mother wouldn't do this, that this is something my mother wouldn't do. My mother do whatever the fuck she want to do. I said, and you're right about that. Shout out to Rock. So Juke takes it upon herself, you know. She goes over to OC's house. He gonna talk to the mama. Except the mama not there. But you know who is? OC big brother. And the nigga big. Like big. So she rings the doorbell. He was just like, oh, you know what you want? She was like, is OC here? And he was like, no, he not here. Okay, but you got to come on in because I'm cooking. I got some shit on the stove. I was like, don't do it, Juke. That nigga is big. So she goes in there, and so she's asking him, have he, you know, where is OC? And he say he ain't seen him in, you know, a few days, you know. But then, of course, big imposing nigga, scary, in the privacy of his own home, a very young, thin, a teenage girl in Juke there. You know, you can see it was bad about to happen. Okay, except he didn't realize that. You know how people say you picked the wrong one? Well, he picked the right one that day. Because, child, he tried to jam her up against the wall. I was like, okay, so here comes the rape. I said, oh, yeah, you got the right one today, honey. That damn Juke must have beat his ass with the damn gun, you know, pulled it out, hit him, kneed him in the groin and everything. He fall down on the ground, and I was just like, you better be glad that she just hit you with that gun, because, honey, she got the trigger finger, and it's hot. Okay, molded, though. Scratch the neck. Jumping over to Unique, or at Unique's place, his old tailor spot or wherever he had, his crew is there, and they're all talking, and OC is there as well. OC is waiting for Unique. And, he probably done asked him about 10 times, where is Unique? And so the patience has run real short now. They ignoring OC. Of course, he's a little person too, so they really not even being respectful of him. They ain't paying him no attention, And he asked one more time, when is Unique gonna get there? And they was like, damn, nigga, he gonna get here when the fuck he get here. You need to quit asking all these damn questions. Sit your ass over there and wait. I said, damn, why you have to talk to OC like that? Anyway, Unique finally gets there. At least now OC can ask him, what he needs to ask him. So, Unique gets there in all his fine, glorious clothes and everything. And OC tells him, like, Kanan knows about the money. And so I need to get out of town, or he's going to kill me. He's looking for me. And so Unique is sort of like, that sounds like a you problem, not my problem. And I was just like, oh, this is about to play out really bad. Even though OC did steal that money, I'm still feeling really bad for OC, because you already know how this goes, okay? They just got the weakest link there. He telling me he hasn't been home in days. He's scared to go there because he knows that that's where they're going to go, looking for him and all. He just needs some help. Unique's feeling is like, it's not my fault, it's Rock's fault. Like, nigga, go talk to that bitch, basically. He was just like, I got to get out of town, and he... Unique don't really have much patience for this kind of thing. He turned around, long story short, he turned around and he shoots and kills OC, like shoots him a whole bunch of times. Again, seasoned killers don't only shoot one time. But I felt really bad for OC. Like, that actually affected me a whole lot. I was just like, damn, not OC. Now, even though things was going really well for Unique last week, this week, we find out, when Unique goes and talks to old boy in Jersey, tell him that they've hit some pitfalls. Quan dead, and all. He don't really have no distributor and everything. And so Paul was just like, listen, I'm not getting into no damn tug of war, no battle, because you mad at your girlfriend. So now Paul is pulling back. He not gonna be, is that the man's name? I sure hope it is, because I keep on saying it. So Paul is pulling out, like, I ain't supporting, I'm not. So now New Jersey is not backing Unique anymore. Unique is like, we out here looking crazy, okay? We looking like busters, like straight jokers out there on these streets, and he don't care. He done. So now Unique is on his own. Now let's jump over to Lou. So it seems that Lou really does like his partner, his co-worker, the girl that helps him find the talent and whatever. So they just have had a nice night. All sis want to know is he still seeing Jessica? If you still seeing Jessica, just let me know. I will step out. Okay, but I thought that we was having something real. I was like, one day, okay, boy, we move real fast on Power. But she was like, I thought we had something real. And he was like, we do. I am here. That was just something that happened. But, I'm here. I was just like, oh, Lou is in love. Wow, this is moving fast. Now we see B-Rilla being his person that he's working with, that he got out of jail. Remember the dumb one that set up the robbery last week, and then they got killed, and now he all mixed up in this shit. Okay, well, he coming out of the little bodega or whatever. Was that a bodega? I call everything a bodega out there. If it's not a grocery store. But anyway, he coming out the little store or whatever, and he bump into Londale and Umbutu or whatever. What was his name? Was it Umbutu? Somewhere close to that, And they going back to the house because they didn't get what they went for, which is stupid, because there was a murder that happened there. Why would you go back? Like, you stupid. They want to go back, and B-Rilla is trying to convince them, like, that is not smart. Don't go back there. They took the money out anyway. There's no money there. You're not going to be... but you know what? They can't listen to reason. They going back. And they trying to force B-Rilla to cooperate, okay, with their ass. So I was just like, B-Rilla, you so stupid. Why did you even do all of this? Okay, I was like, he is the worst criminal to have to be dealing with. But I know he hate that he went to the bodega that night. So anyway, he's at the studio, and he can't get himself together. Like, he's rapping, he getting off track, he can't keep the beat, he forgetting the words and everything. Lou looks at the engineer and is like, what's wrong with this nigga now? Okay, the engineer don't know, so he says, B-Rilla, come out, let me talk to you. So he comes out and he's just like, what's going on? You all over the place in there. And B Realer was like, can I talk to you for a second? Dummy. So yeah, the engineer leaves. Okay, what's up? So B Realer was just like, I fucked up, Lou. You remember when the music exec was telling us about the house over and wherever it was, and it was money there and all that, and the people that got killed over there, And Lou was looking at him like, please, no, you could not be that stupid. I didn't go in with them, but I did set it up. Now that they didn't get the money that they wanted, now they trying to go back. They were trying to circle back, and they trying to make me go too. Lou just looks at B Realer. He says, you a fucking idiot, B Realer. Okay? And I was like, yes, B Realer is quite stupid. Who gambles away their future like that? But we see it all the time. Rappers that still have one foot in the street and the other foot trying to be in the industry. Shit happens like this, right? Okay. So B Realer tried to go to talk to Umbutu and Julius. Did I say Londale? There's so many names to be remembering, you guys. No, it's Julius and Umbutu. He tries to go and talk to them. Some reason, just street nigga to street nigga, like, hey, can y'all just leave him alone? He shouldn't have did this. Don't go back to the house, blah, blah, blah. And they was like, nigga, you got your nerves. You work for the cracker now. All right. You over there slaving for him. You ain't got no heat in these streets no more. Nobody backing you no more. Nobody's scared of you anymore, You done went soft. I was like, uh-oh. Get the fuck up out of here. And Lou realizes, he done scoped the situation. He outnumbered and everything, outmanned. This is not his territory. And plus, he just went there to talk. So, he ain't gonna wreck shop now. Of course. He gonna walk out. Okay? But baby, this is just the battle, not the war. He come out. Now he real mad. Be really trying to find out what happened in the conversation. And Lou was just like, you know what? You stupid. They were not trying to drop the issue. They going over there. And you the reason why. What about B Realer trying to turn it on Lou, talking about he went soft and how, some shit didn't happen with his man Fame and now he don't like his music no more. No, nigga, that ain't got nothing to do with why we are now having this conversation and why I'm pissed at you. Don't try to bring in this conversation about Fame. Nigga, you couldn't even get a damn sentence out earlier today. So now B Realer is trying to appeal to the ego of Lou. If I know back in the day, the Lou back in the day, wouldn't have let them niggas talk to him the way that they did, call him soft and all that. Them niggas wouldn't even be here no more. The old Lou was a problem. Lou was like, yeah, this Lou is still a problem. And I was like, Lou, don't let it happen. Lou, you are in a better place. This Negro is not worth it. Okay? Even though you are a little bit responsible for B Realer, this is bigger. You don't owe B Realer nothing, but the fact that he said that the old Lou used to be a problem, I was like, we already know what's going to happen now. Let's jump over to RoxanneMarkham. So they close the deal with the Latino man. Okay, everything is moving smoothly. Rock is smiling more and more. I was like, well, at least Rock has one thing to smile about. You got the poor child just don't never have nothing. The Latino man is telling her, like, I did a whole lot to make this happen quickly because you was really pressing me. And she was just like, everybody's about to make a lot of money. It's all going to be good. Okay, so she's happy. So when they leave, Marvin is telling her that he's a little worried about, them hitting Quan the way that they did. And she was just like, as long as they can't pin it on us, it's nothing to worry about. You're going to be fine. She about to go down there and talk to that damn David. Was that his name, the brother? She gonna go down there and talk to David, make sure he's ready because now everything is about to start like really amping up. She getting everybody ready for New York, okay? Because they about to change the game again, Marvin. So she goes and talks to David. Child, he going on and on about being loved and everything. And Rock is just sitting there like this. I was just like, I guess, Rock, sometimes you just got to deal with the inconveniences. If the nigga is still the means to the end, just let him sit there and talk his daisy, pillow, unicorn, and clouds and rainbow talk and be done with it. But make sure that nigga is reporting for work on Monday. Can you handle this, David? He says, yes, he got it. I can't wait for you to bring your big, pretty, shiny drugs here. I love David. And Rock hates him. Now, Snap and Pop are out walking their dog, and they bump into Kanan. And they want to know if Kanan know anything about Rock killing Quan. Quan dead. Kanan had no idea that Quan was even dead. Listen, son, I like you a lot. You're young, intelligent, ambitious, smart. The only issue that you have is that you are surrounded by suckers. And again, they don't trust Rock. And so, Kanan was just like, he ain't got nothing to do with that. Listen, he want to know if you guys can check with the police to find out, what happened with Kanan, who put that hit out on him, because they saying that, the police is the ones that did it. Who told you that we had a connection with the Popo? But that's fine. They're going to look into it, but you need to find out, who might have hit Quan if it wasn't your mom. When Kanan walk away, both Snap and Pop, they don't know who to trust over there. But they do check with the police. They check with their connects. No, they're telling them, like, the Stark kids said it was the police, and they were like, well, we will find out. We're going to look around. We'll check around and see what it is. Now, Marvin goes and talks to Early. Okay? Early, he put him in the bookie joint when he killed the place of Fish, right? I mean, when he went to the place and he ended up killing the guy that worked for Fish. So Early works there now. So he goes there and he was just like, hey, let me ask you a question. Like, what did you guys do exactly to that mob guy? Remember I was telling you guys about it, and he was like, oh, we went and handled it. And he was just like, oh my God, please don't tell me you did what did that. And he was like, you the one gave us the green light? And he was like, and you did that shit with Londell? And he was just like, yeah. And he was like, Londell got the biggest fucking mouth. And he was like, Londell not gonna say nothing. I said, Londell sound like he talked too much. He already sound like he gonna snitch. Marvin is concerned. Early is trying to convince him that Londell's not going to talk, but Early reminds Marvin, like, it was your call. It was your call and you made it. So don't be trying to switch this shit up now. So Marvin goes back to Rock's house. Now remember, Rock is happy. She back in business with the Latinos. David is in line, even with all of his eccentricities. Everything is good. And so Rock was just like, yeah, go on and tell Fish, that we back in action. Everything is about to start up. It's all good. And Marvin was just like, yeah, except that we might start having a problem with Fish. And she was like, Marvin, don't tell me that shit when we about to win. So Marvin tells her what happened with Early, how he put him in the bookie place, and how, he ended up telling Early and to do the job, and now Early and Londell went and did it, and she was like, Londell, the one whose mouth is the one that put his ass in fucking jail? Are you serious? He was like, well, Early said that he not gonna talk, but Rock is not gonna go with that, of course, So she was like, no, you need to handle that shit. And he says, okay, he gonna go handle Londell. She said, no, handle Londell and Early. Rock is just like, you know what, Marvin? You don't learn shit. You do shit, fuck it up just to turn around and do the shit all over again. And Rock is just over it. So you know that saying, when you take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back? Okay, Marvin is the 2 steps back every time. So yeah, Rock is disappointed with Marvin. She's pissed. And Marvin is kind of feeling disappointed in himself, I guess. And I just kind of shook my head because I was just like, you guys, Marvin is dying soon. It's like, I can feel it. You could feel it. Especially in these last few scenes. Because when he went to go talk to Fish, when he tells Fish what happened, Fish was just like, yeah, New Jersey really could blow this up if they really wanted to. All they needed really was Rock to light the fuse. If she lit the fuse, that shit would have been like tick-tock boom. Shit with Unique is a mess. He'll have no fury like a woman scorned. Marvin was like, my sister's not scorned and everything is good. Business is about to be back and running smooth. You need to make sure that your people are ready. We gonna be bigger than Southside Jamaica, Fish is just like, no, we need to be just concerned about what's happening in our neighborhood now. We don't need to try to worry about getting bigger than Southside Jamaica, Queens, okay? But no, Marvin is like, no, we getting ready to blow up for real. And Fish is just like, no, we not. We are going to just concentrate on what's happening right here. So now you can see all of the again, you guys, Marvin, he's leaving soon. I'm so sad. Now, Unique goes and talks to Snap and Pop because now he's trying to get back on the good foot, right? They was like, damn, nigga, we see you more now than, fuck. So Unique is trying to see if they want to go in business with them, and they was just like, no, not really. Like, you just lost Quan. Like, you're not really in no position to be trying to work with anybody right now. Unique tells him, like, he's working with New Jersey. They work with New York since they work with Fish, and maybe they could get together and kind of broker a deal, like a peace deal between the two families, the two sides. If you come fuck with me, then you won't even have to work with Rock or Kanan, none of them. Okay? We can push them completely out the game. Well, let us talk about it and we will think about it and get back to you. And Unique was just like, I'm trying to let you know, like come be with me. It's up over here. That damn Papa always got snapped back, though. She was like, damn, nigga, he said he'll get back to you. Damn. Okay, go on back to your crypt or your coffin or your box or wherever you come from. Pop is what you would call a ride or die. She looked at Pop and he was just like, damn, the plot thickens. Okay, everybody want to work with Snap and Pop. Something tell me them two gonna die too soon. They might die at the end of this season as well. They won't be here much longer. Now, Rock is over at the grandmother's house, and she's helping pack up the house. The grandmother died, and Juke is just sitting there helping her. Rock is talking. Rock don't have no girlfriends. I mean, we can't get Rock one good home girl. She ain't got a cousin nowhere. Damn. So it looks like Rock is having a hard time. Juke said she would do it, but Rock was like, no, I think Mom would want me to do it. I was like, well, at least Rock is feeling, in post-mortem, maybe now Rock can have some sort of relationship with her mother now that she's not here. Juke was like, do they know how she died? And I guess she died in her sleep. I was so glad that Rock did not tell her the truth, especially with Juke knowing that Kanan thinks that Rock killed Fame. If they found out that Rock killed that mama, even though the mama wanted her to do it, they will definitely believe that Rock, killed Fame. While they're talking, Rock asked her about Kanan. She was like, he's all right, I guess. And she said, well, you need to stay on him because he's going to be doing something crazy, especially if he think he know who killed Fame. If he think he knows it, he going to do something stupid. Juke says she got him. I feel bad that Rock doesn't even realize that her own son thinks that, she killed his best friend and that he's most likely going to try to kill her. Now, back at Kanan's house, when Kanan gets home, he tells Crystal that she's got to leave, okay? You got to go back to Delaware or wherever you came from. Go stay with your cousin. She tells him, listen, I was thinking about what you said about your mom. Like, I don't really think that she would kill Fame. Like, Fame was like your brother. She loved him. She starts trying to take up for Rock. When Kanan got up and walked across that room, I thought he was about to hit her. I was like, please don't hit this girl, Kanan. Okay? This girl actually really likes you. I wasn't sure about Crystal, but this episode made me feel like, Crystal really does love Kanan, And so he walks up to her and he was just like I said, you gotta go. So she's supposed to be leaving next day at work at the office. Kanan gets a knock at the door when he's there with Juke, and he turns around and you already know what it is. They done found poor little OC child. They done found OC. Crystal, in the meantime, goes and talks to Rock that she's worried that Kanan is going to do something and that Rock needs to talk to him. She thinks that Kanan thinks that he knows who killed Fame. And Rock was like, well, who does he think killed Fame? And she was just like, that's just something that you need to find out from him. Okay, when she said that, I was hoping that Rock would have put two and two together and came up with Kanan, because otherwise, why wouldn't Crystal tell you who he thinks it is, But whatever. Crystal says you need to check on him. Shit is bad. Rock was like, I'm his mother. I can only do so much. And she was just like, that's the same thing my mother used to say when she didn't want to take responsibility for her own bullshit. I was like, okay, not too heavy on Rock. Rock has been through a lot. Okay, I don't know nothing about your trifling ass mama, but she could never do what Rock does. Now let's jump over to Marvin. So Early and Londale, they's at the they had a long day, and now they with their boys, they playing cards, talking about each other, talking shit, laughing, whatever. Londale got to go to the bathroom. So he goes out in the alley and he's discreetly peeing in the corner, and it's the last pee he's gonna take because Marvin walks up behind him and is just like, loose lips kills tricks, nigga. Okay, pow, pow. Okay, pow, pow, pow. Because again, seasoned killers don't shoot once. We see Juke minding her business, grabbed her a little something to eat at the little deli or whatever, and is sitting down, and then here come Garcia, interrupting her day. Shannon's father said you were a good person or whatever, maybe you can tell me some shit about Unique and his brother. Juke was like, you got me real fucked up if you think I'm gonna tell you anything. She not studying them. She gets up and she leaves. Everybody then went on over to OC Mama house, because now that the news is out on the street that OC is dead, everybody's paying their respects. Mama all broke up. I said, poor OC. Now, the next night, Crystal's trying to leave. She's on her bus. She's on her way. Okay, at least we think so. But then the very last minute, the 11th hour, here come the police. We need you to get off the bus, Miss Bradshaw. We have questions about Kanan and Fame. All right. Why would I know anything about Fame? All right. They was like, well, that's why we want to talk to you. So they take her off the bus. So she ain't on her way to Delaware, but she don't also know, Kanan don't know that she didn't make it. Now, lastly, Ubuntu and Kenyatta. Kenyatta and Ubuntu. So anyway, they are now upset with Lou. Okay? And Lou knows it. When B Rilla was telling them that the old Lou, would have done something, Lou was like, the shit is already done. And I already knew Lou was about to do what he was about to do. Okay? So we see Kenyatta and Ubuntu, they are following or watching B Rilla and Lou. And of course, you would have to know that somebody is watching you if you've upset somebody. I imagine if you were a street person and you didn't piss somebody off, now you looking, you always got eyes at the back of your head when you're a street nigga anyway, right? So Lou is aware, but they're not aware that Lou is aware. So they're sitting in the car across the street. They see B Rilla and Lou go into this building. So now they're just waiting for them to come back out. Okay. B Rilla comes out. Now they just sitting there waiting for Lou to come out. So their heads are both trained this way. They're looking towards the building. Meanwhile, Lou is over here. That's right. Lou has pulled the old switcheroo on him. So, Lou says to him, jumbo niggas. And I was like, jumbo niggas and loose lips sells tricks niggas. I'm wondering if these lines have anything to do with each other, considering both of the brothers snuck up and killed somebody from behind, basically, But anyway, he shoots and kills them. Pow, 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 pow. And now Lou has involved himself back in the streets. And I am just so disappointed. I was like, Lou, all that work you've done with the therapist, why did you let yourself go back here? You got a good, I'm assuming, 6-figure a job that pays you well now. Why are you still contending with these niggas on these streets? Lou is gonna go to jail. Well, you know what? Lou probably is gonna die too. I can feel Marvin's is more impending than Lou's. But yeah, I just was like, oh my God, Lou, why did you do that? I loved it though. I did love the scene. It was a great scene. You knew that that's how it was going to play out, but it still was a good scene. I thought it was a good scene, but I just was like, yeah, Lou, you back in. You back in. Even if you didn't want to. Rock let you go just for you to come back. I'm sad. All right, you guys, that is it. I'm going to get on off of here. Make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm Roxanne. The channel is itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.